Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video Fat Film. Today, I kind of want to just spend some time and kind of give you guys what my road ahead looks like. What things am I going to do in my account? What decisions am I going to make? What teams am I going to invest in and not invest in? And the reason I want to do this is because sometimes in my account updates, I feel like I gloss over this. I kind of speed through it. And so I want to kind of take some time, explain why I'm going to be investing in these things, what I think the return is, and why I think they're going to be important. So like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you guys. Again, channel members, I very much appreciate all of you. I'm sorry I haven't had a chance to update anything. It's just, I thought the month of March would be a lot easier on me, and it's been just really hard. So thank you guys again for supporting me. I do very much appreciate all you guys. I still try to be as active as I can in the Discord, so I hope you're seeing that. But let's kind of talk about where we're heading. So right away, you guys can see we're one shard away from Tarfful. So that will be, we get Tarfful, and that means that we're also then going to get Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. So Tarfful to Jedi Knight Cal, we're going to have Tarfful, Saw Gerrera, and Merrin at Gear 12. So big first thing that we're going to do is take our Jedi Knight Cal Kestis to relic levels, right? That's priority, right? That's priority number one. Let's get Cal. Let's get him rolling. So that's going to be the biggest thing that's going to change, right? That's the first major step. Then I'm going to take a look at my Kyrotech inventory. We're going to look at my signal data. And then we're going to also look at where I think Boss Nass goes farmable. And the reason why I say that is because one of the things I really need a lot of right now is signal data. I need a lot of signal data. With the coming relics I need for Gungans, Bo-Katan, other things I need in this game, going to Relic 7s and higher relic levels, I need that signal data. So if Boss Nass goes to Cantina, that's going to greatly change the kind of relics that I'm going to do compared to if he goes to a hard node in Light Side, Dark Side, or Fleet Energy. So if he goes to the Cantina, I think I will just 100% end up going for Admiral Trench, which I know all you are going to laugh at me and say, Phil, why are you going to level up Admiral Trench? Here's the thing. Right now, Trench and his team is something that I am just him away from. Like, when you look, I've got Jango, I've got Newt and Watt and Dooku. Right? I've got the team I need for him. So I feel that I would just be hurting myself if I didn't go for Trench at this point, especially given his Datacron coming back and kind of my position. I've had to say this, as proper as I can. My position in the game right now is that a lot of my opponents have a lot of these teams. And so even somebody like Admiral Trench can still throw a major, can still cause a major snag for me on my attacks, because while it's not the greatest team, if I don't have the right counters to it, it's a big problem. And with that Datacron, it becomes even more of a problem. So, I think that's going to be the next big thing that we would do. Particularly, I think if Boss Nass goes relic or goes to Cantina, you could expect that Admiral Trench is going to happen. Now, that does mean that I am going to have to start saving some Zeta materials. Let me make sure I can show you guys where my Zetas are. Is there anybody in here who needs one? Let's go out this way. Whew, excuse me. Sorry, it's late here, guys. Oh yeah, Cara Dune needs one. So yeah. So once we get Cal Zetas, then we can start worrying about, Admiral Trench and thinking more towards, hey, when we get when we get Queen Amidala. If Boss Nass goes to a hard node, I'm going to look at characters like Cara Dune and Saw Gerrera as potential characters that I would farm out of the farm signal data from Cantina instead of Boss Nass shards. I would farm the signal data for them, take them to Relic Zeta, equip some Zetas on them, along with Admiral Trench, because these guys will help me get to the Kashyyyk special mission to earn guild event currency 2 for my guild. So I think a lot of my plan and strategy is based on where Boss Nass would go farmable, simply because if he goes to Cantina, I've just got to start right away. I can't afford to miss out on anything. I can't afford to miss out on a lot of the Gungan stuff that's coming, which is kind of my next point, right? So obviously kind of thinking about this Kashyyyk special mission, but a lot of that's going to be dependent on where, Gungans go farmable. Because if they go in the Cantina, I've got to go for them right away. And this kind of leads me into this next point about the Naboo raid. I want to go a lot harder in the Naboo raid than I did with Speeder Bike or Crate raid. I want to really have a good Naboo raid team, and that's going to mean going after these Gungans as soon as possible. And so I've been trying to save my bonus crystals because I know that I'm going to need them to speed these guys along, whether it's refreshing nodes, potentially having to buy stuff in shipments, all that kind of stuff to get them over the line. So that's kind of the next big thing for me is let's get these guys up and running while also paying attention to Queen Amidala, Master Qui-Gon, and Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi. So that to me is kind of my path forward, right? I know that sounds silly and you're like, Phil, that's a really short video, but that's the truth, guys. Like, my path forward is not this complex thing. It just, so much of it is really going to be dependent on, like, we know Cal is glued on, right? I'd even argue that Trench is basically there, but it's really, hey, do I also have time to get these guys up and running while waiting around for this Naboo raid? Because if the Naboo raid, when these characters go dropping, we start farming them, and I can put myself in the position where we can get Gungans early on in that raid, I can earn my guild a lot more, rewards. So, yeah, guys, I think that's really the path ahead. From a hard node perspective, I think it's just going to be trading off between what I was doing for Tarful to the Bo-Katan Mandalore characters, which, I think they're still going to be very important to farm. But I think if I'm telling you guys the Fat Phil advice, it would be that I think this Naboo raid will be one that we want to hammer. The better you're scoring this raid, I think the better your account will be in the long run. So that's the end of the video, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Again, I apologize, it's a shorter one, but I love you all. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.